Thank you for listening to the show on Really Big Something Channel. October 31st, 2017.
The Kuhner Report, presented by Kelly Financial Services. This is the best of Boston's bulldozer, Jeff Kuhner.
Now they want to put more tolls on the roads. You couldn't make this up. Okay, Kuhner country. Here is now what is taking place. So, as you know, they keep sucking and sucking. Hold on. What's that sucking sound? That's them sucking money out of our wallets. Now they want to suck even more money out of our wallets. So listen now to this. A state senator from Lynn, Thomas McGee, who, by the way, is running also as a mayoral candidate against Judy Kennedy. So instead of just focusing on the mayoral campaign, no. He's a real moonbat. And so now he's pushing for more tolls on all roads and highways all across Massachusetts. So he is now spearheading the effort up on Bacon Hill to now take even more, suck more money right out of your pocket. So listen now to this. Tolls now could soon be coming. Route 128, you drive 128, they're coming. He wants them. The Democrats like it. He's pushing it. Tolls on Route 128. Tolls on Interstate 93 through Boston. Route 1, I know that. That's one of the routes I take almost every day. Route 1, south of Interstate 95. You're on your way to Gillette Stadium, for example, to see the game. Blank you. They want a toll right there. Route 2, portions of Route 2, loaded up with tolls. You live in the Lynn area. They're going to load up tolls. In other words, wherever you live. 95, 93, Route 2, Route 1, Route 128. They want to line them up now with tolls, according to this guy. So he's now calling for tolls now to be set up there, electronic tolling with the Easy Pass, to be set up there by the end of 2018. And he says the reason why, we need more money. We need more money, he says, for building roads, infrastructure, operation, maintenance, repair, replacement, enhancement of the road and highway system in Massachusetts. And not only that, but listen to this. Not only do they want to put tolls pretty much everywhere now, just load up the place with tolls, but furthermore, they're calling for equitable treatment of all drivers. What does that mean? That means that those that drive during rush hour, peak periods, the cost of using these roads, these highways, these tolls will actually increase. They say that they need to do this to discourage driving at peak times, i.e. rush hour. So they don't want you driving during rush hour. They prefer you take, the train or the subway or the bus or a bike or whatever it is. So if you're going to be driving during rush hour, they want to increase the cost of the tolls. Morning rush hour and afternoon rush hour. Furthermore, he says not only is this going to be used for, operation, maintenance, repair, replacement of the roads and highway system, also this is going to be used to fund the MBTA. So, here is now, in essence, what this guy is planning. What Thomas McGee, State Senator Thomas McGee, Moonbat McGee, he now wants, and the Democrats are pushing this right as I speak to you up on Beacon Hill. It's coming down the pike if we don't block it. What they now want is to have you pay more for using all kinds of roads, all kinds of highways. They're going to penalize you if you happen to work for a living. So if you work for a living for a job, they want to hit you even more for driving during rush hour. And they want all of that money to be used allegedly to pay for the MBTA. Really what it is for the pensions. Because they have these astronomical, out-of-control pensions. They don't know how to pay for it. So It's a massive redistribution of wealth scheme. This is the only way the Democrats can keep their hold on power, which is to take as much of your money from your pockets and then redistribute the wealth to their special interests, whether it be those on welfare, EBT, illegals, MBTA, you name it. That's the scheme. However, it's not a tax hike. They're not raising it. See, it's not a tax hike. No, it's a fee. It's tolling. Come on, everybody uses the roads. We just need more tolls. So it's not, quote, a tax increase. It's just we need more tolls. We just need more tolls. It's a cash grab. It's a naked cash grab. And it's a naked cash grab in a state that has a massive road fund that the politicians keep raiding because they keep stealing the money. For example, I don't know if you know this, but Massachusetts leads the entire country. It's not even close. And how much we pay for maintenance per mile every year, per mile per year, nearly $700,000 we pay for our roads to maintain per mile per year. The national average is $162,000. We pay nearly $700,000. Many of you are going to say, but Jeff, come on, it's Boston. It's overpopulated, it's congested. And what, New York City isn't? Philadelphia isn't? Baltimore isn't? Atlanta isn't? Chicago isn't? Los Angeles isn't? Dallas isn't? They have been raiding and stealing from the road fund for years. And when these politicians, like they recently did, give themselves a $20 million pay increase, some of them like Porky Pig Bob DeLeo and Senate President Stan Rosenberg, almost $45,000 to $50,000 just extra salary. Never mind the benefits. It's got to come out of somewhere. So now we got to put more tolls on the road. Now we got to load up with tolls. And I'm reading this guy's bio. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, first of all, he's in a mayor's race. He's in a mayor's race. Why is he not focusing on his mayoral campaign? But no, these guys, they always have time to take money out of our pocket. He backs an effort to declare Massachusetts a sanctuary state. So he wants to raise more money off of tolls on the roads to help pay for more illegals to come into the state of Massachusetts. And then, you want to talk about a loser. Look at the 10 things he wants to share about him. It's on his homepage. Take a look at it. Number 1, McGee attended Game 6 of the 1975 World Series when Carlton Fisk hit a walk-off game-winning home run. Who cares? Number 3, listen to this. He went helicopter skiing in Utah. Okay, you want a medal? He worked as a dishwasher while living in Aspen, Colorado. Listen to this. Attended the Live Aid concert in Philadelphia in 1985 where Bob Dylan, Madonna, Mick Jagger, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Led Zeppelin, Tom Petty, and the Heartbreakers performed. Has visited 41 of the nation's 50 states. Who cares? Witnessed the Miracle on Ice team win the gold medal game in 1980 in Lake Placid, New York. I saw it on TV. You want to make me mayor now of Lynn? I saw it on TV. I cheered up and down. We beat the Ruskies. This is sick. And this is from 781. You can text us 680-680, Jeff, and he's going from a senator to a mayor just to pad his retirement pocket. Bingo. 617, Jeff, another aspect of this scheme is the loss of our privacy. All tolling must be removed. It's about control. They want to know everywhere you go and when. Dead on, by the way. Spot on, 617. 781, Jeff, if you put tolls on all those roads, your listeners need to understand that not only will we be paying the toll, but you've been paying more for milk, clothing, gasoline, and automobiles, and then you buy what you're going to pay for more. Well, yeah, I mean, you're completely right. It raises the cost of everything. Because, truckers or whatever, you're bringing stuff in, so you're charging, I don't know, you're bringing a shipment full of bread. Bang, you got to pay the toll. They're going to pass it on to you. Now, I got to tell you, they're going to kill me. If they do what they're planning to do, my drive is from Southern Mass, right near Gillette. So I go up Route 1, toll, bang. 95, toll, bang. On the Pike, they already nail me. Toll, bang. I mean, you got me on 3 tolls. I mean, it's going to cost me, what, $20 to go to work? And then you hit me on the way back? Pike, bang. 95, bang. Route 1, bang.
I pay $2.50 in tolls every day.
I mean, this is highway, this is literally now, this is highway robbery. This is freaking highway robbery. And how many people use 93? Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. And they're going to get you everywhere. They're getting you on Route 2. They're getting you on Route 1. They're getting you on Route 128. I mean, they're going to nail you. They're going to nail all of us. All over. You see, crime does pay. That's what happens when you have a one-party state, a mafia state run by the Democrats with no real opposition. They run the state into the ground. They line their pockets, these corrupt politicians, with their retirements, with their health care plans, with their benefits packages, and all of their friends and cronies they load up in government. There's never any accountability whatsoever. And it's like taking blood from a stone. You just keep squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. Now, let me throw one more log on the fire, and then I want to jump into the phone calls. As you know, Amazon, right, the big tech giant, is looking for a second headquarters. They're looking for a second place, kind of like a co-headquarters. And they're now taking bids from numerous cities all over the country. Massachusetts, in particular Boston, but even in Massachusetts, Somerville, I know other cities are, aggressively, extremely aggressively, are now going all in to get what's called Amazon 2, the second headquarters. And Marty Walsh has offered the Seaport. Charlie Baker says, I don't care what city you take Boston, take Somerville, take Cambridge, take whoever, but just give it to Massachusetts. And they're offering all kinds of tax benefits, sweeteners, you name it. It's a $5 billion project, so a lot of construction, a lot of jobs, a lot of employment. Here's the problem. A lot of people at the top heads of Amazon are very reluctant to come to Massachusetts. Why? Too much traffic and congestion already. I spend 3 hours a day in the car. An hour and a half going in and an hour and a half going home. If I'm lucky. Some days it takes me 2 hours to get home. Now, if I'm an Amazon guy, I'm going to say, look, fine, you can throw all these tax benefits and everything else on the table. And, tell me how beautiful the Seaport is and the high rise and Boston's got Logan Airport and blah, 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 blah. You can't move. So when are my employees going to actually make it to work? How are they going to get home? And on top of this, you want to start throwing in even more tolling? I know it's electronic, but still, you want to throw in even more tolling? With this ridiculous Easy Pass? Whereby you get letters. You know how many times I get letters from them saying I didn't pay? I go, of course I paid. Well, our camera didn't properly catch your license plate. That's your problem. How's that my problem? So you want to pay $250. You go through all these Easy Pass tolling. Well, they didn't read your card correctly, or they didn't read your license plate correctly. It's going to lead to even more problems, more traffic, more congestion. It's going to squeeze the middle and working class. It's going to bleed us white. My friends, enough is enough. We're already taxed too much. We're already told too much. Not one more freaking toll. Not
This
one.
is the best of the Kuhner Report. Even Boston's bulldozer needs a day off once in a while.
Okay, a proposal now by State Senator Thomas McGee, Moonbat McGee. He's also a mayoral candidate in Lynn against Judy Kennedy. They now want to put tolls pretty much everywhere. On 93, 95, Route 1, Route 128, Route 2, anywhere. Literally, you're going to see tolls everywhere. They want to begin by the end of next year. They say they need it to pay for the roads, the highways, and for the MBTA. And here's the kicker. They want to increase the tolls during rush hour. So when you're coming into work or leaving home from work, you're going to pay even more. 617-266-6868. Good idea, bad idea. David in Norwell. Go ahead, David.
Hi, Jeff. Hey, thank you for covering this. The Atkinson article in the Herald is terrific. I recommend everybody buy a copy of the Herald and read it. It was superb. Go online. The one thing I would point out is that the bill, by the way, is Senate 1959. And we've already been ginning up a fair amount of discussion against it. I would encourage everyone in the Metro Loop, that is, everyone that's bordered by 95 or 93, and everyone who commutes into Boston, to call their state representatives and their state senators. If you're from Norwell, Hanover, or Rockland, your state representative already opposes it because that's me. But they need to contact their representatives and let them know that they don't need any more surreptitious taxation. This is aimed squarely at the men and women who are going to work every day from the suburbs. Absolutely.
Mike, you're 1,000% correct, and thank you for calling in and keep up the good work. Okay, you want to call State Senator Tom McGee? He's the guy that's pushing this. This is the number. Please call him and tell him no. Absolutely not no. 617-722-1350. 617-722-1350. Call, ring his ring his phone off the hook and say, no, we are taxed and told enough. Mike in Weston. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, thank you for taking my call there, Jeff.
My pleasure, Mike.
I drive down from New Hampshire down to the Waltham area. In Route 3, 128 is tap, tap, tap on the brakes. I agree with you. They're not going to take money and improve the roads. It's going to go to keep Massachusetts a sanctuary state and whatever else they want to do. 93, at 5 o'clock in the morning, going southbound into the city is all headlights. So when does the rush hour start? It starts around 4:35 in the morning and probably goes until 9 or 10 in the morning. I mean, we're trapped. There's, you want to leave at midnight to get to work so you avoid the toll? No, you're not going to do that. So I agree with you. They're still reeling from when our buddy Jeff Steele stopped the tax increase,
That's
the
right.
automatic gasoline tax.
That's
They're
right.
still reeling from that. So, on the Mass Pike, as you're probably aware, from Framingham into the cities, over a dozen tolls overhead. I've counted them.
Oh, I know. Oh, Mike, it's disgusting. And thank you for that call, Mike. Look, they tried to automatically raise the gas tax. We blocked them. So now they're trying it with the tolls. Now, I'm telling you, we're going to win on this. If we call and we put enough pressure on our state reps and state senators, because we're not going to take it. I mean, we have the numbers on this one. Overwhelming numbers. Okay? And as Mike, one of the state reps who called in, put it, this is aimed specifically at middle working class people who work in the greater Boston area. It's a target right on our back. For the hacks at the MBTA, for the hacks at the Department of Children and Families, for the hacks on welfare, for all of the Democratic hacks and the hackorama. That's what this is all about. So, and I'll tell you when they're going to hit you. They're going to make rush hour. Trust me, it's going to be 5 in the morning until 10 in the morning. Blank you. They're going to hit you from 2 in the afternoon till 7 at night. Blank you. That's when they're going to raise the tolls. So they're going to put all these tolls, 95, 93, 128, Route 1, Route 2. There's going to be a lot more. I'm just naming you some of the big ones. And you're going to be told no matter what, every time you go. But when it's rush hour Monday to Friday, they're going to raise it even more. So I'm telling you right now, if this thing passes, I'm hitting 3 to 4 tolls every day on my way to work, my way in, and on my way back. And because I'm a working man, I drive during rush hour, right? I got a family, I got 2 little kids. I can't come into work at midnight. I want to be paying even more. So, you want to pay $15, $20, $25 a day just to go to work? This is the proposal for you. Now, let me ask you this. In all seriousness, you pass something as colossally stupid and confiscatory as this, the taxpayers are going to leave. No, really. I mean, there's a certain point where you say, how do I live? And then Jared made an excellent point. He said, no, Jeff, their attitude is, come and live in the city. So you got to pay $2-3 million for some fixer-upper in downtown Boston, or if you want to, schlep in from the suburbs, we're going to bang you up good. The cost of housing in Boston has become so outrageous. Now I think it's $500,000 for a crack den. Even the crack addicts are now complaining, saying, hey, who can afford these prices? And now you want to hit us up with tolls? Enough's enough. Call him right now, 617-722-1350. No more tolls. Not one.
This is the best of Boston's bulldozer, Jeff Kuhner.
2:38 here on the great WRKO. All right, as one of the texters put it, it's Taxachusetts, baby. So there is now a proposal by Mr. Magoo, Thomas M. McGee, State Senator Tom McGee, or I like to call him, as one of the texters put it, Tom Magoo. So there's Tom Magoo, who now is pushing a bill that is gaining steam among Democrats up on Beacon Hill that would dramatically increase tolls being put all across Massachusetts. In particular, they want to raise a lot more money, they say, to maintain the roads, the highways, also to pay for the MBTA, especially all the massive lucrative pensions. So what they want to do now is they want tolls on 93, tolls on 95, tolls on Route 1, Route 2, Route 128. By the way, in that Lynn area, because he's a state senator from Lynn, he's actually challenging Judy Kennedy for the mayoral in the mayoral race. Route 107, you're going to see a nice big fat juicy toll right there. And not only do they want to put tolls everywhere, but to maximize the cash grab, they want to punish in particular middle working class people during rush hour. So the tolls will be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even on the Linway, you're going to see tolls also on the Linway. So it's going to be everywhere. But during rush hour, 5 in the morning till 10 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon till 7 at night, the tolls will be even increased to, they say, discourage people from driving, taking the subway, the bus, take a bike, whatever it is. They say that, and by the way, his argument, this is the argument, it's not fair to only have tolls on certain roads and highways. There should be tolls, according to him, on every major highway, byway, and serious roadway in Massachusetts. This way, it'll be fair. In other words, it's not enough that we're just tolling some people. To make it fair, we've got to toll everybody all of the time. I swear to you. 617-266-6868 is the number. This is from 978. Jeff, is he competing for most interesting man? No, I know when you look at his silly bio. Like he attended Game 6 of the 1975 World Series when Carlton Fisk hit a walk-off game-winning home run. Like, who cares? Helicopter skiing in Utah. Okay. Attended some Live Aid concert in Philadelphia. He visited 41 of the nation's 50 states. Well, you know what? I visited 42 of the nation's 50 states. There you go, Mr. Magoo. 617-266-6868 is the number. Okay. He is the son of Thomas W. McGee, former Speaker of the Massachusetts House of Representatives. So it's in their blood. They just got to gouge the taxpayers, on behalf of Hackorama, the hacks. So that's what it is. It's take the money from the peasants to redistribute it to the hacks. That's the game. All right. He was answering this number. He's running from all of you, so you're going to get his voicemail, but still call the number, 617-722-1350. 617-722-1350. This is his campaign headquarters running for mayor. Please give him a call there. So he's turned off the cell phone because he's running from all of you. Call this number, 781-598-2017. 781-598-2017. And he supports Sanctuary State for Massachusetts. So the money that he wants from these tolls, he wants to also pay for illegals, for welfare, housing, and EBT for the illegals. So you're going to get up every morning, $20 going into work, $20 going back from work. It's going to be for people on welfare and illegals. Blank you. 617-266-6868. CJ in Boston. Go ahead, CJ.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for taking my call. That was exactly my point at 10 o'clock this morning when I called Senator McGee's office and told him if he's looking to close the deficit in the budget, they should stop the entitlements to the illegals, which is costing the taxpayers of the Commonwealth approximately $2.2 billion a year. And on top of that, Jeff, to add insult to financial injury, what he wants to do here is he wants to finance the ferry system and the communal rail system, to which we are not using, which is a separate issue in which the MBTA should have been privatized many years ago and getting off the back of the taxpayers. But if your listeners want a better number to call, how about Charlie Baker's number? That's 617-725-4005. 617-725-4005. And give Charlie Baker an earful of salt to nip this in the butt.
Oh, I'm with you. Look, I'm calling out Charlie Faker right now, Chicken Charlie. Either you say you're going to veto this, come hell or high water, or I'm telling you, you're really finished.
This is the best of Boston's bulldozer, Jeff Kuhner, on the Voice of Boston,
My friends,
WRKO.
it's one of the greatest crises of our time, and the Republican and Democratic establishment have done absolutely nothing. And finally, President Trump moves. Where others didn't and refused to lead, he has now led. So yesterday, at a major press conference, Trump finally declared the opiate crisis a national public health emergency. And I want you to listen now to the president describe in detail the depth of this crisis and how many lives it has claimed. Roll cut one, Brittany.
Last year, we lost at least 64,000 Americans to overdoses. That's 175 lost American lives per day. That's 7 lost lives per hour in our country. Drug overdoses are now the leading cause of unintentional death in the United States by far. More people are dying from drug overdoses today than from gun homicides and motor vehicles combined. Think of it. Motor vehicle crashes, gun homicides, more people by far from drug overdoses.
That's incredible. I mean, the numbers are staggering. 175 a day, 7 an hour, over 60,000 a year. A year. And he's right. That's more than all the, Chicago and all these places where people are shooting each other. That's more than all the deaths caused by guns, cars, vehicles, car crashes combined. In fact, just to show you how big this problem is, In Vietnam, we lost 58,000 boys. In Vietnam, the whole war, okay, the whole war. Let's say from 1963 to 1975. The whole war, we lost 58,000. We lose more than that every year now, due to heroin, fentanyl, opiates, prescription drugs, you name it. That's how severe and deadly this crisis is. In Iraq, 4,000 dead. 4,000. About 35,000 wounded, many of them maimed and crippled. But I mean, this makes the Iraq war pale in comparison. This even makes Vietnam pale in comparison. And yet our politicians either refuse to do anything or deliberately turn a blind eye. Take your pick. Listen now to President Trump go on even more about the scale of this crisis. Roll it, Brittany.
These overdoses are driven by a massive increase in addiction to prescription painkillers, heroin, and other opioids. Last year, almost 1 million Americans used heroin, and more than 11 million abused prescription opioids. The United States is by far the largest consumer of these drugs, using more opioid pills per person than any other country by far in the world.
Brittany, do me a favor. Play me that last line again.
The United States is by far the largest consumer of these drugs, using more opioid pills per person than any other country by far in the world.
We're killing ourselves. We not only have, yes, there's a heroin epidemic and it's affecting Canada and it's affecting Western Europe and it's affecting China. Yes, 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 yes. But it's not even close. It's not even close. More people die of opiate overdoses in this country by far than any other country in the world. This is one of the biggest crises of our time. And if no one else has the guts to say it, let me say it. Because a lot of this has been coming in through our porous southern border. Now, not big pharma and the opiates, that's one thing. But you look at heroin, especially a lot of this cheap heroin, this garbage heroin, which is highly addictive and apparently extremely inexpensive. These are all the Mexican drug cartels. I mean, with all due respect, I saw VB's interview with Chuck U. Schumer, and it was great that he got him at the diner and nabbed him for an interview. Don't get me wrong. But I heard that liar Chuck Schumer, go on about how, the Chinese are on fentanyl and all this stuff. They're turning a blind eye. Forget the Chinese. It's the Mexicans. I mean, yes, it's the problem from China too, but the real one is coming right through that southern border, baby. And so you look at today, all right, here, just objectively. I don't care whether you're liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, whatever your politics are, what skin color you are, what gender you are, what sexual orientation you are, whatever you are, okay? You walk downtown Salem, you can see the needles everywhere. In the parks, you can see the needles everywhere. In Lynn, you can see the needles everywhere. Here, closer to my neck of the woods, okay? North Attleboro. There's a drug epidemic. They're overdosing and dropping like flies in North Attleboro. It's getting to the point in some of those parks, I can't take my kids because you've got needles everywhere. So this is affecting community after Boston Common. Just walk down Boston Common now. It used to be nice. Not anymore. This is affecting community after community, city after city, not just in Massachusetts. It's rolling up into New Hampshire, into Maine, into Michigan, into Wisconsin, in Ohio. I don't want to repeat this story, but it bears repeating. My brother-in-law, God bless him, is now living in California with my sister, Jennifer, and my two wonderful nephews. He used to practice medicine. He was a GP in Ohio. I said, Marty, his name is Martin. I call him Marty. I said, hey, Marty, why'd you leave? I'm just curious. I mean, Ohio's nice. You guys are outside of Cleveland. He goes, Jeff, I'm not a drug pusher. I didn't sign up to be a doctor and study all those years and sacrifice to become essentially a drug dealer. Everybody that was coming into my office, they wanted either OxyContin or Oxycodone, some kind of an oxy. They were hooked on painkillers. They wanted a fix. And I don't want to become their drug pusher. He goes, it is killing people in the heartland. It is killing them.
The voice of Boston is you. 680 WRKO Boston, 93.7 WEEI HD2 Lawrence, Boston. It's 1 o'clock.